I'm Chet Holmgren. We're here at the 2022 NBA Finals. Let's do this. It's a great experience. It's a great atmosphere here. Just be able to walk, see what it takes to, be here. Both these teams are a great team. That's the goal at the end of the day, is to win a NBA Finals. So, if I can't envision it, then I can't live it out. So I definitely envision it.
Definitely my first finals, so this is pretty cool. And Miami's not a bad place to have your first finals experience. I want to see how tense it is in here. Every bucket really means something. The atmosphere is definitely way different than the other game. I think every NBA player wants to play in the finals and kind of have this. So it's cool that I get to kind of get a behind the scenes look before we obviously try and make that push.
Chet and J-Dub, of course, selected in that 2022 draft, now playing in their first NBA Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder franchise record 68 wins. They're 4 wins away from the franchise's first championship. Here's Stephanie Reddy with their head coach, Mark Dagnall.
Coach, thanks so much for your time. What was the most challenging part of being off for a week between series, and how did you address it?
I mean, the challenging part is just the distance between games. Guys want to play. They're excited. But we've been through this in the play-in week. We went through this in between Memphis and Denver. So it's not the first time we've had the time. We get healthy. We get rested. The benefits probably outweigh the costs, but we're ready to rock.
This Pacers team, they've won the last 2 game ones on the road. How do you stop that trend and win tonight?
It just comes down to tonight's game. They're 3-0 in game ones. They've started series very well. They've obviously played well throughout the series. There's a reason they're here. So we understand they're going to come out fast. They're going to come out ready. And we have to do the same if we want to compete in the game.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Surprise, surprise. Look at where the Oklahoma City Thunder, remember, the most wins in the regular season. Dominant defense, one of the best we've ever seen. Kenny, how do these stats jump out to you and where we are with the Thunder here in this postseason?
It jumps out. That means that they're deep. They have a great deal of depth in their lineup. There's certainly so many guys that we've been talking for an hour and we haven't even mentioned who are key parts. Caruso, Hartenstein, Joe. We could go on and on. They play so many different guys that have key moments for them that they're so difficult to guard. And again, Indiana has a lot of depth as well. But I just think the size with their depth is going to be the difference for OKC.
When I look at that stat, it just shows me that they are together. It's prevalent with their record that they're together. They play well. They like each other. They do their interviews together. I think last year when they failed, they were very, very upset. And they thought about that all summer. Came back this year very, very focused. And they are here in the finals. So when you look at all those stats, this is what they wanted. This is what they've been dreaming of doing. And now they have a chance to be NBA champions. Will they get it done?
Zeke, when
Get your hands off me, Stephen A. Smith.
Wait a minute now.
Get your hands off me, Stephen A. Smith.
Back up off that guy, man.
Wait a minute now.
Security.
What's
Security. We got an invasion.
Let me say one thing.
Queens in the building.
Oh, look, Twins.
Queens in the building.
Queens in the building.
But we got 2 more games before we teammate, so get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
You ain't with us yet. We still the enemy right now. You're still the enemy right now.
Behind enemy lines.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, underdog, bring me some hot chocolate so I can spill it on the blazer.
Zeke, so again, I look at these 2 teams and I go to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
And I think, man, some of the guys that Kenny was just talking about, Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, so young, having this opportunity in the NBA Finals. And then I look at the veterans that they brought in to kind of offset that. Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein. When you look at where this team is at right now, how important were those 2 acquisitions to get this team to where they are right now?
Oh, those 2 acquisitions were huge because it solidified their defense. They didn't bring in guys that need the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in guys who could stop the other guys from scoring. Hardenstein, to me, when they talk about glue guys and they talk about chemistry, right? He's the guy that really controls the chemistry out there because when he catches the basketball, the first thing he's looking at is dribble handoff. Can he dribble handoff? Can he roll to the basket? He's getting offensive rebounds, getting you extra shots. Caruso, he gets up under you. He can guard 1 through 5. He's a tough defender, but these two guys defensively, that's what OKC is built on. Now, again, Indiana plays with a lot of movement, so they don't stand around where you can just, get up under them and pester them. You got to be able to move your feet, and then you got to be connected as a team and as a unit, because if not, you're going to give up a layup.
But remember a year ago, before Hartenstein came, there were two Jalen Williams playing a lot of minutes. Now there's only one. Hartenstein has been that good where the other Jalen has not really seen the floor at all because he's not needed. And they have so much depth at this team that we have to see if the Naismiths, the Nembhards, and the Siakams have to play at a higher level. Even though Siakam was the MVP last series, he's even have to play at a higher level to compete against the guys that he's going to play against with Caruso, Hartenstein, Joe, and the rest of those guys.
Kenny made a great point, and Shaq, I got to come to you on this, right? Because when I look at the Thunder, what they essentially did is, okay, Chet Holmgren can play the 5, but now they got 2 7-footers out there in their starting lineup, and Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. That just seems like a lot for most teams to try to deal with 2 guys that are your height.
And they got 2 Isaiahs on the same team. So I'm just saying, they're going to be kind of good.
And, it's 2 big guys that like to rebound, like to be physical, like to play defense. And then you got one of those big guys that could step out and make the 3 and put the ball on the floor and get to the hole. So when those guys are on the court, Indiana's going to have problems. Because, again, they had problems last year. They had major problems last series with Mitchell Robinson. So with those 2 guys on the floor crashing the boards, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson was he was like, can we play them 82 times?
Yeah.
Can we play them 82 times?
Yeah.
Because he became a man-child on the offensive glass, and you cannot give a team like Oklahoma City extra possessions that they gave the Knicks.
Yeah, but here's the key, right? When you got Hartenstein, and you got Holmgren out there, and they match up against Turner and Siakam, right? Those 2 guys are moving. They can step out. They can shoot the 3. They can take both those guys away from the basket. So
Not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same as Mitchell Robinson, honestly.
No, it's not the same as Mitchell. No. So Mitchell Robinson stayed around the basket, right? Those 2 7-footers are going to have to come out, chase, move, get in random screen and roll action. So they're capable of doing it. But I'm just saying, you playing against 2 good offensive players now.
And what I love about the Pacers is they enjoy being the underdog. Similar to when you played, Isaiah.
Yes.
Everybody talked about the Lakers, they talked about Boston, but you guys enjoy being the underdogs, and that's a very dangerous team.
And we
Did y'all enjoy being the underdog?
We were not the underdogs. We had Shaq.
Hey, there's only one underdog that matters on this show, and he's over there with the stats.
When y'all play the Rockets, y'all deserve to.
Hey, so we mentioned underdogs.
How
You
the
know
hell
what else
we
we
the
got to talk about?
underdogs?
Elevator Ernie, another impersonator here in the building.
My God.
Alex Caruso, part 2.
No, that's Alex Caruso.
Yeah, fake Caruso.
Pacers, Thunder. Oh, man.
You got to have him in the pink suit, though. Why did you have him in the pink suit?
Why my hands on the hips like that? Let's go.
You put your hands up on your hips. We dip.
Oh,